Good when the air ambulance goes over.
That's for sure.
All right.
Are we live already, bud?
Well, it's live on there, but not podcast.
Oh, I haven't got my rainbow nut butter ate yet.
Well, you better hurry up.
Oh, well, you don't have to introduce the man, so I can just eat.
Hey, we're back at Hoagie's Garage, take 2 tonight, and we have Sean Rayhall on. How you doing tonight, Sean?
Doing great. How about you guys?
Really good. I got a whole mouthful of food.
Just so Reese Moranda's happy, Tobe's eating rainbow nut butter.
Well, we just opened that.
That stuff's my favorite.
Oh my
We just
gosh.
opened it Saturday night in the garage. We forgot we had it. He sent us a box of it. We used the box. Go ahead.
Me and Reese were on the lumber garage or snow getting show down in.
Yep.
And we were down on that I think last March. I think I took 2 of those things home and I finished them at Bobby Malizer or Janky's house, Janky Bobby's house by the time the night was over. So I know how it goes with the rainbow nut butter.
Yep.
Yeah, but we forgot we had one in this box. This box is like our stand for our speaker. And
We're high tech, by the way.
Yeah, we're real high tech here. And Tobe opened it up. It's been sitting there for a year.
Yeah.
And it's still really good.
Yeah, it's tasty.
Well, it's like Christmas.
Pretty much. Christmas in July.
Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself. Are you single, married? Are you, what's the family situation?
Married. My wife, she works and does a bunch of stuff in Dallas, Texas, and I've kind of been all over the place too. So we see each other when we can, kind of thing right now. But and obviously between road course racing and sprint car racing full time, my life's crazy enough. So we get to see each other when we can.
Yeah, that sounds like it's a
busy schedule.
Yes. So
yes.
Where do we call home now?
Yeah.
Probably Gary DeWall's house in Jackson, Minnesota. But I have a place down in Tennessee too, and I think I'll be definitely up there for next year, like from March till October. But my winter's so busy with the road course racing that I'm not really sure where I'm going yet because all this kind of happened pretty fast with the DeWalls and everything. So I really haven't given it much thought what my actual residence is. I just go under whatever address I need shipped to or mailed to.
Well, as long as it works for you, that's all that matters.
Yes, sir.
So let's go way back. First of all, how old are you?
31.
31.
Oh, that's double the age of the last kid we had on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah.
How did you get started into racing?
So I was always into like riding dirt bikes and stuff when I was young, and honestly, so I was like my nickname was Chunky Puffs as a kid.
Chunky
So I
Puff?
was over Chunky Puffs, yeah,
Okay.
like cheese puffs, just with chunky in front of it.
Okay.
So I wasn't very good at basketball. Really had no ups, and then I wasn't that good at football because I didn't move so fast, and I got in a go-kart, and I was 7. I was in like the 8 to 12-year-old class. I want to say it was like gold plate or whatever. And I won my first 2 races ever. And I was like, well,
Holy crap.
this is the only thing you're good at, you should probably stick to it. So I raced go-karts. They were road course go-karts. So I raced road course go-karts from like 8 to 12 or 7 to 12. And then became the youngest person to win a open-wheel car race on a road course ever in the United States of America at 12, back when Skip Barber would let you do that.
Wow.
And then we were at Skip Barber for a couple years, realized that, like, my dad was kind of like, I wouldn't say like running out of money, but didn't have the funds to really go to the next level in road course racing.
Yep.
And then we went legend car racing when a sponsor kind of picked me up that used to sponsor Jack Baldwin. His name was Jerry Peters. If you remember, like the Royal Oaks NASCAR and Grease Lightning being a NASCAR back in the day.
Okay, yep.
So that guy took me to Legend Cars, and then I won the Summer Shootout Championship in Charlotte a couple times and Thursday Thunder Championships, and then won a late model race. And then Dad was like officially out, like no more money. And I was like, 17, sitting on the couch. I was February and got a call that someone wanted me to go to, a sponsor wanted me to go to Formula One. And I was like, hey, like, I haven't really been racing road course, like, I think it'd be a good idea for me to do a season here first. And he's like, cool, let's do that. So I was in a car 2 weeks later, in the IMSA Lights car, which is prototype lights, which was a class that doesn't really exist in IMSA anymore. And I was winning a decent amount, and a guy named Enzo Podolicio, who I didn't even know at the time because I didn't come from that world. I've been out of that world at that time. He owned like a American Le Mans Series team, a Grand Am team, a World Endurance Championship team, and a European Le Mans team. So he comes up to me and he goes, hey, like, how much do you charge the coach and this, that, and the other? Because his sons were racing in the series. And I was like, well, and I gave him a rate that was like probably a third of what all those guys were, because I was like, hey, man, I can actually eat this week. This is going to be good. Like, if this guy gives me a third of what they're getting, like, we're in business. And sure enough, the next race, we went and did some testing, and I was pretty good with shocks on the road course stuff. And that was just from all the stuff that I learned from Clay Rogers when I was at Late Models in North Carolina, and like really being on RE suspension every day. And like we put my setup on his car, and I won the race after that, and he finished third. And he hadn't ran in the top 10 before that. Wow. So now I look like the greatest thing since sliced bread. So later that year, he says, hey, Sean, can you come down to Pompano Beach into the workshop? And I'm like, well, I'm not in trouble, because they just wouldn't call me if I was in trouble. So yeah, sure. So I come down there, and he says, like, there's a brand new LMPC car, and he goes, you see that car right there? I go, yeah. And he goes, you're going to race it at the Petit Le Mans, and I'm going to pay you. The same I'm going to pay you to coach my kid, then I'm going to pay you to race my car. But it comes with a catch. I go, what's that? He said, if you crash my race car, I'll make sure you are never hired to drive again. If you keep a calm head on you, you're going to do well, and you're going to be a pro forever. And my first ever like pro road course race, finished second at Petit Le Mans, which is one of the top 4 biggest races of that. And then won some IMSA races the next year. Was going to IndyCar. And at the time, his wife, they're not together anymore, but she kind of pulled the rug out from under that on the off season, because I was going to do Indy Lights, and then in 2015 full time, and then go to IndyCar after that. And she pulled the rug out from under, and then they had a paying driver come in, and his money dried up, and I was actually ripping out sheetrock out of a crawl space working for my dad's fire and water insurance restoration company when Enzo called and told me to go get a physical. So I went and got a physical, and we showed up to Barber for an Indy Lights race. And the first race, we had a throttle manifold was installed wrong, and it was doing kind of weird stuff and wasn't really fair. He's like, well, I got to give you another shot. So we went to Indy for the next race, and I won. So then after that, I was tested IndyCar for Ganassi, was a test drive for Ganassi at the end of the year. Then raced the year after that, 16, was European Le Mans, the first year of that. We weren't really like jiving with the team over there. I don't know whether it's because I was American and they were French, or because they were French and I was American, but it wasn't really working out.
So you're saying were they talking to you over the radio in French then, and you didn't know what they were saying, or what?
It just wasn't. The philosophy was different. They were more about, I think, as they say, the spirit of the race. And I was like, yo, this thing is not handling good. Like, we got to work on it. They're like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And I'm like, it's not fine, guys. The car is pretty much broken.
Then the next year, I'm telling you, it's not turning.
Yeah, and then, I mean, that year was still a big year for me because I drove for Don Panos, who was actually, that was my first factory ride. And I was racing for a factory team in the States, in IMSA, and I was over there, and I was having a miserable time over there. and this car at manufacturer was on the way out, so it wasn't like a good time to be like for results. So it's like it was my first year with like no podiums, if that makes sense, in road course racing. So 16 was not good. And then 2017, we signed with United Autosports, and we won the European Le Mans Championship and won the Road to Le Mans race at Le Mans. Finished second at Sebring 12 Hour. And then what else did we do?
So I got to ask, now I know like the 24-hour Le Mans, they switch drivers. I'm assuming you got to switch drivers in a 12-hour race, don't you?
Yeah.
Because I don't watch a lot of that, but so is there just like you and one other guy then, or how does that work?
Well, so it depends. So like typically it's kind of staggered. So the fastest driver usually does the most of the race.
Okay.
So like what I've done Petit Le Mans, which is a 10-hour race with just 2 drivers, where I've done 5.5 to 6 hours out of the race. So they'll take like the fastest driver and maximize that drive time, like within the rules. So you can, I think at the time you could drive like 4 out of every 6 hours, or you have to make sure you don't drive more than 4 in a 6-hour window, if that makes sense.
Okay, yep.
So they'll stagger it appropriately. And then like if it's a 12-hour and you got 3 drivers, like whoever the weakest driver, which sometimes is the guy who's, like a business guy who's paying, that's really into racing, that's developed to try to get to be able to race at that level. He'll do like minimum drive time, which will so in a 12-hour race, his min drive time might be like an hour 45.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And then you kind of got the middleman, which would be like the silver, the second best driver, and that guy will do the remainder of basically what the max drive time is for the best driver and what the weaker driver took away. So they'll fill in the gap.
So when you race, say you drive your 3-hour stretch or whatever, and you come out of the car, do you like go try to take a nap, or are you still too wired to do that? Or, I mean, I'm just curious, and I've never seen behind the scenes on any of that.
I mean, some people can. I've never been able to. I've shut my eyes for a little bit, but like typically, like it's weird. It's like as soon as you get back to pit lane, then you're like, man, I could really go for a nap. Like as soon as you're about to get back in the car is when the adrenaline's finally like worn off. And then at that time I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and drink a pre-workout or something and like let's go get after it again.
Sure. Yeah. Probably got to pee once in a while, I suppose. So it's good to get out occasionally.
Yeah, I don't know. There is stories. I've never had a co-driver do it. That some drivers pee in the seat. I've never been able to. I had a co-driver I really didn't like at one time, and I tried. Drank a ton of water, and it just hurt for 3 hours. So I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, stranger things have happened when you're in a race car that long.
Yeah.
So then is there, do you have like a water jug that you can drink during the race or anything? Or how does that work if you're out there that long?
Well, so it depends on, like, in the GT cars, like, you'll have some, like, in some of the closed cockpit cars, you'll have AC. So I've done open cockpit back when those prototypes were around, when they didn't have roofs on them. Those you obviously don't get, like, a cool suit or anything like that. The prototype, you typically get, like, a helmet cooler. So kind of like the NASCAR thing without the cool suit.
Yeah.
And then when you're in, like, a Porsche or a GT car, you have, like, what they call is, like, a chill out or a cool suit system. And it's a cooler that's in the car that pumps ice cold water through a shirt that you wear with the AC. So those are pretty nice, but I really wasn't. I was more of a prototype guy. So I don't know. When I've ran GT cars a couple of times, I've never really utilized the cool shirt deal. And I have some GT races next year, but like they're all like I'm going to run the road course stuff until April. And then not do it again till October. So I'll probably like potentially use the helmet AC if needed. But as in regards to the cool suit, I'll let the other guys use that because I just feel like anything else, like adding something that could go wrong. Because in the past some of those, when they fail, then the water actually gets hot, and then you have hot water laying on you.
No, that wouldn't
So
be
it
good.
can actually, it can go the other way when it goes wrong, and I'm kind of superstitious and stuff, so I
So
just don't like
I'm assuming then
any
there's just like a quick coupler sticking out of the waistband of the suit or something then that you hook up to a line on the car?
correct. But if you disconnect the coupler, you still got that water sitting on you that's baking and getting hot.
Yeah.
So you can't remove the shirt while you're belted in.
No,
So,
I'm sure not, but
So I'm a kind of, that's why I'm against it.
Yeah.
okay. Let's see. I knew we were going to learn stuff with this guy, bud.
So you got up to like 2017, somewhere in there.
Before I interrupted.
And then
2018 was like I don't know, it was like I wasn't having fun anymore. I was kind of like at that level where there was politics and stuff like that, and I just wasn't like enjoying. I wasn't like passionate about the sport anymore. You know, like it was just kind of like going through the motions and this, that, and the other. And, you know, I decided like I had an option to race the 24 Hours Daytona in 19. And it was a good offer too. And I was like, and I called, I think it was Jimmy Vassar with the Lexus deal. And I called him back and I said, man, I don't, this is the first time I don't feel like I got to be at Daytona. Like, I think I'm going to think I'm taking a break at the minimum. Like, go ahead and go with the other guy. And kind of just didn't, like, I wanted to go into real estate and just do something, like, have, like, a life. Because, like, when there was politics involved and I was racing cars, and there's balance of power, which is when they're, like, taking a Lexus because it's heavier than a Porsche and limiting it to try to make the Porsche as good as it on the racetrack. And then there's manufacturer sponsoring races, so you guys can read in between the lines. And they've, like, DOP's gotten a lot better now. Like, now me kind of like having my toe back in the waters, it's a lot better than it was. But at that time, it was a mess. Mm-hmm. And I just wasn't happy. And I decided to go into real estate, and that lasted about 3 or 4 months before someone said they were going to throw me in a sprint car. And then got thrown into a sprint car and really just was a fish out of water. And like, it's not like everyone's like, well, you've raced your entire life. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like literally like saying, you know, like, it's impressive. I think was it Michael Jordan that played basketball and then played baseball?
Yep.
Or one, well, yeah, like that blows my mind, because that's kind of what I'm doing. It's like,
oh, yeah.
like when I went, you know, for him to play at the level that he played, that'd be, you know, like if I make it to the World of Outlaws or High Limit, like that's a pretty big state of the art thing. But it was really hard to get a hang of. I wasn't really in the right place getting started. And not for nothing, but like when no one knows you and you're the road course guy and you like have a little bit of sponsorship, but like peanuts compared to what it takes, like no one really wants to like help you or have
Sure.
you. That knows what they're doing, you know? So yeah, it was kind of like I ran like 5 MSA races or something that 2019. And then, I had the wise idea to sell my condo and buy a 410 sprint car, because that's what you do at
that makes
24,
sense.
25 years old. At that point, started my first 410 race was at Park Jefferson. And that was during COVID, the race that Terry McCarl put on.
Yep.
And I'd never sat in a 410 or drove one, besides for like this 363. It's called MSA 360s, which are basically a 305. And I was like, well, I was talking, I think, Scotty Thiel, and I was like, so what do you do? And he's like, oh, I just put it to the floor and leave it. So I go to put it to the floor, and I get gear tied off at 2, and I'm staring at the sky, and I'm like, I don't know how to get to the floor in this thing. So even more fish out of water. And then I think the guy I was running for blew the motor up like the next race at Park Jefferson or something like that. And then I only got like 10 races actually with the 410 that year. And then the next year I did like 27 races, I think. And then the year after that, 32. So until like 2024, I hadn't ran like a real full year in a sprint car. And in 2024, I finally did like 45 races. And, that was when I really kind of came into my strong suit. And by then I was in Ohio, and that's it's a tough bed out there as well. Different kind of, I just say different kind of tracks.
Yep.
So,
And then this past year I moved from Ohio in 25 and won a race out there and ran top 5 with All Stars a couple times, I think during Speed Week, and had really had some speed. My crew chief, unfortunately, Prince Evans, he passed away in a car accident in May, and that really kind of took everything that was happening and kind of flipped the script. And then I kind of had to start crew chiefing, and I hadn't been really working on the cars because I've been just flying in and out of road course stuff, and he was kind of taking care of things, and we knew some people from Kansas City. Woody Long actually helped us out from Kiwi Landscaping and gave us a shop to work out of, and we saw that power I paid good, and we were like, hey, let's do something different. And me and Zach Collin got on the road and just basically moved to Woody shop and put a camper out there, a fifth wheel, and had a couple top 3 runs with Power Eye, and and then at the end of the year, it was just too much to do the stuff that I do with road course racing, own a team, crew chief, and I don't have enough sponsorship to pay a crew chief or really have everything that it takes to have a proper, traveling team. So I'd known the DeWalls for years because I actually sold them 2 of the chassis that they ran with Brooke and the chassis that I started racing for them. So we were trying to work a deal out, and Doug was kind of on the fence at first, and then we met, and then once we met, it was, we were going to do originally I was going to do a couple of races for him. And then we met, we ran the first weekend, and it's kind of turned into when are we racing? How much? What's next? And we kind of hit the ground running. I mean, we were originally, I think, only slated to do 10 races, and I think we've done 14 already or something. We're going to do 10 races through the rest of the year. So I don't know, it just clicked. It was like coming home kind of in regards to the family, and just I became part of the family really quick, and me and Doug work really well together, and Doug having someone that helps at the shop, and Brooke didn't live here when Brooke was driving. Yep. Right. Yep. So the fact that I was willing to relocate, and I was cool, no worries. Don't worry about washing. I got that. Don't worry about running valves. I got that. It kind of just, I think it fitted what he was looking for too, besides for the driver department itself.
Sure. So, we got to say, Bud, we never remember to do this, but we got Sean Rayhall on with us tonight. And, I see Rick is watching. Fritz, I got to say hi, Rick. See you in a week, buddy. We'll be sitting in the grandstands at this time in a week. So, but anyways, so I got to ask, though, how in the world did you end up at Park Jefferson in middle of nowhere, Iowa, for your first race with your car? Does it because it was the only race available that year on account of COVID, or what?
Yeah, I mean, I had some sponsors at the time, and I think Terry McCarl invited me because I was a European Le Mans champion.
Okay.
I think that's kind of that got me, I guess, street cred enough to get in the gate, but definitely wasn't enough credit to really be up against who I was up against, because that was an invitational.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing Terry's a heck of a promoter, so that's a good way to promote the race, that he's got a champion from a different series racing in there.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that's what kind of fit, and we were out of Wisconsin in the time with a guy up there, and I mean, it was still a ways to go, but it was the only place I was racing, and we had to get started somewhere. So we went ahead and went for it.
Seems to have worked out so far for you.
Yeah, it hasn't been the easiest road, but I'm happy to where the road led me.
Yeah.
So you're going to come back up to Huset's and do the probably 2 weekly shows and then the World of Outlaws when they're here, or are you done for this year?
Well, so I think I think the weekly show next week is, or after the Jackson World of Outlaw race, I think that's a 305 only show, correct? Or is that 410s?
Oh, one of them is just a 305, I think.
So they only have one more local race, and that local race I have to leave for a road course deal. So I'll race Jackson with the World of Outlaws in 2 weeks, and then I'll race. I think we're going to run Knoxville potentially on the 29th.
Okay.
And then I got to leave on the 30th for my road course deal on the Monday and Tuesday. And I'll come back up and run Huset's World of Outlaws, and then Jackson, the Jackson Nationals.
Yep.
And then we've talked about a race or two in October that we might pop down and do. And then from there, we're kind of just, we've had some decent runs respectively. I think our first time at Huset's, last Sunday that was a new car, and we had everything go wrong that could go wrong with a brand new power steering gear, etc. But we ran top 10 our first night at Huset's together, and
Because heck, I
think for
had to
not
come
being
out
there-
back and restart you because they were debating whether or not you were even going to come back and race after hot laps.
yeah,
whatever.
we changed a power steering gear to find out that the steering gear was bad, but wasn't the whole problem. And then we changed the power steering pump, a cam spud, everything, just to make the B main. Which I was like, hey guys, we're already here. We get to actually put it on the track because it fired off fine at the shop, and everything was completely fine when we fired it up in Jackson. So let's go ahead and get some laps. But we've had some really good runs. We've just also been. We're definitely going to do something next year. So I've also kind of been like, hey, let's kind of try something every week, like a little bit different, and just start trying to figure out what our program's going to be for next year.
Oh, okay.
So we're not just stagnant. We're kind of searching right now too, to even when things are good, it's like, well, let's go ahead and, we know that this could work if we try it this way. So we're kind of getting our program and our platform kind of figured out.
You're building a notebook for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't want to call it testing because we're obviously racing, but
Yep.
I don't want to, we switched chassis this week, and it was more so it's like, hey, I had a couple of chassis left over for my program that weren't selling, and he had a couple of chassis, and he wanted to try the brand of chassis that I had. So I was like, hey, let's go ahead and just go ahead and try it, because at least we can try it for a few races and then figure out which platform we want to use for next year.
Sure.
It sounds a little bit like it to me that you've rejuvenated DeWall.
I wouldn't say. I don't know what to say. I mean, I don't know what to say to that because, I think, his deal with, obviously Riley runs really well on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was looking to do the traveling and do what he's doing with me. And then I think, I run hard and I work hard and I put in the work at the shop. I think it's, maybe it's giving him a little bit more of a breath or a breath of fresh air,
Sure.
and in Riley's, working his tail off all week, on his Knoxville stuff and this, that, and the other. But, I think having a driver there working on the car and working on the program and even taking the truck and trailer in X, Y, and Z, it's kind of opened up some doors that he wants to, start visiting.
Yeah. I mean, washing the car, you're doing some of the stuff that isn't fun to do.
Oh, yeah. It's, I don't know. I wouldn't say, I think that's the lifestyle for me.
Yeah.
I chose this because I love sprint car racing. I love the purity, and what the racing I was doing wasn't pure anymore to me. Right.
Okay.
So drivers back in the day, they didn't just show up with a suitcase and leave. They washed the car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So why, what makes me different? I mean, I wear boot cut suits. I don't wear the road course suits, with the skinny little, legs, but at the end of the day, I'm no different than anyone else. I'm going to put in the work, and, and I think as a team, you should want to do that.
Yeah.
The driver shouldn't, at the end of the day, if someone doesn't tighten my right rear wheel up, then we lose a race. If I miss the bottom or, overthrow a slider, we lose the race. So at the end of the day, it's no different whether you're a driver or a crew guy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, because you get to do road course stuff and then you get to go drive a sprint car. I mean,
well, it can't be anything remotely the same,
no,
obviously.
not at all.
So it's
what could be even cooler is Gary was talking to me this morning before I left, and he's like, "Hey, do you see that PowerEye's running in Florida in February?" And I was like, "Yes, there's a chance I might be racing a GT car and a prototype that weekend at Sebring, and Sebring's only an hour from that racetrack." And he like just kind of looked at me funny, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm thinking what you're thinking."
So you're saying Dewall's maybe leaving the Jackson area in this winter?
I don't know. We'll see. I think we might get off the porch a little bit in October for a weekend.
Okay.
We talked about it. So just a place that I've been with PowerEye that's racing some high limit races. But I don't know what's going to happen in February. I know we plan on racing next year and building towards that. And I got a new sponsor, or actually a current sponsor of mine, Overwatch Precision, has a new company coming out. And that's going to enhance our program a little bit and our ability to do stuff. So I don't think you're going to see us full-time traveling, but you might see us at a couple more places than the usual.
Okay. Now, so I don't forget any longer, I have to ask this question. There was a Rayhall that used to run like Indy cars.
Yeah, there still is, actually.
Any relation?
Yeah, so we're distant cousins. My part of the family moved from Lebanon first to the United States. My great-great-grandfather was brothers with Bobby Rayhall's grandfather.
Okay.
And then Graham Rayhall would be his son, so that would be his great-great-grandfather was brothers with my great-great-grandfather.
Okay.
So we are technically distant cousins.
Okay. I had to ask because Rayhall's not a real popular name that's out there so much that we know of. So.
Well, yeah, and then we moved to the States first, and my great-great-grandfather started with a hot dog stand and then ended up owning strip malls, and when everyone was pronouncing his name wrong, he added a Y and an L, which is why mine's spelled different, and he didn't realize that his great-great-grandson was going to kind of be a little bit of a racing misfit later because of it.
If you had a choice to drive any kind of car, what kind of car would you pick to drive? I mean, you've driven all kinds of stuff. So tell me what's out there. Do you have
a favorite
that you would just
or
love
one
to
that
drive?
you haven't driven yet that you want to?
I mean, after I've driven a 410 sprint car, that's my passion. Like, that's it. It's like what I love, what I want. That's everything to me. The other stuff's cool. Like, I'm not, like, there was some stuff working towards me trying to do like the 500 at one point, and that, it would be cool, but it's still not like I won't, a lot of my, if I didn't want to race sprint cars full time, like, I got plenty of road course offers. Like, I could road course race full time still. I just, like, sprint cars where my heart is, and it's what I'm chasing and what I'm passionate about, and that my mind's made up.
Well,
is it just the adrenaline? I mean, you said it's just so pure. Explain that more. What is it about sprint cars that you just love so much?
Well, Larson kind of said it the other week too, but like in that stuff where you have different, like the driver's more involved in regards to like, hey, like, let's do this to make the car better. Let's, like the track's changing, so the driver has to be on top of the track changing. There's a lot more variables that you got to pay attention to from a driver and a team department. And it's not like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, yeah, the Outlaws get to race more races than us. So do the high limit guys. But, like Ryan Timms proved it, like, and I know the big deal is a little bit on a larger scale for a local outfit. But, like, you still, like, you don't have to be driving for Roger Penske or like Chip Ganassi to be competitive at that event. You can do all your work, do all the right work and have the right platform. It was just like me crew chiefing myself to an 11th place finish with high limit. And it was like a month into me crew chiefing at Fremont, Yeah, you can't just like send me to an IndyCar race and expect me to figure out how to, run 11th at the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Like without engineering and, being with the right team, or can't send me with I'm not saying the race team that I ran, Sean Rayhall Motorsports, was like the greatest of all times. We worked our tails off and we learned stuff, but, we didn't have a lot of resources. And I don't think, obviously so there's resources that help with higher funded teams, but I do think and I think also when you look at the numbers, like, can you name another race car that has the amount of drivers that race 410s worldwide?
Yeah.
It cuts the percentage. The percentage is like maybe 15% to 20% compared to the amount of sprint car guys.
Yeah.
So you're up against the best of the best. You don't have guys like, I don't know, aging out like super early. Like, you're still racing against Tim Schafer and Blaney when you're in Ohio.
Yep.
And you got guys with now 30 years of wisdom and experience that you now have to go beat, and you have to outsmart that guy. Like, that's tough.
Yeah, and then there's 15-year-olds you got to beat.
Oh, yeah, because they just stand on the gas. They just go on, and then once it goes green, it just stays on.
Yeah.
Well, not that it matters to you, but for what it's worth, we prefer sprint cars over road
everything.
courses. So,
Well, you guys are my people.
oh, well, we maybe better not keep you too long, Sean. So maybe we'll hit you up with some of our rapid fire questions here.
All right.
What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Swirl Blizzard with M&Ms and Reese's.
That's
works.
pretty specific.
That
right
would
there.
work, though. That's a good one. Do you have? I just about read the wrong one, bud. Whoo! You a cat or a dog person?
Both.
Both. Do you have both, or you just like both?
We've had both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, with the lifestyle you got right now, you probably don't work to have pets.
No, I actually gave, we got cats at Patty and Gary's, but one of my best friends, Ben, has we gave our cat to when we moved out of Ohio, and Bash, my husky dog that I had for the past 5 years, we gave him to a buddy of ours from Ohio, Tim Rhodes, who's kind of taking care of him since I couldn't be like full time.
Yep.
I don't know if this is possible, but do you have any hobbies outside of the racing world?
Do you have time for anything?
I'm a runner.
A runner.
Well, that's a new
Yeah.
one.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I ran like 6 miles this morning. I actually run past Jackson Motorplex daily.
Oh, that's awesome.
6 miles.
Yeah.
We
Boy.
could
We're proud of you.
We could walk 6 miles.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm taking up golf. I have never golfed because I've never had like the patience to try, and I'm like very hard on like I have to be good at something to enjoy doing it. I've never taken the time to get good at golf, but me and Jeremy DeWall from the Jeremy DeWall band are
you
gonna
should
start,
just come golf with us.
how nice are the courses at Jackson? We can come up and go golfing next summer.
Okay,
'Cause
well,
we-
I mean,
we
I'm
don't
going with
care.
Jeremy, so give me a couple weeks here. Getting into this off season to kind of like get trimmed up so I don't embarrass myself too bad.
Well, the thing with us, we are strictly there to have fun.
Tobe talks through his swing.
Yeah, it's not that hard.
Maybe I need to try that next time instead of
I'm
throwing
not
the club
saying
into the
it's
wood.
not that hard because I'm not that great of a golfer, but it really don't matter if I'm talking or if I'm focused.
Tobe,
The swing's still the same.
When we did best ball, you hit the ball really well there today.
We're gonna find out tomorrow.
You
Nope,
going
Friday.
tomorrow?
Friday.
Okay,
Friday. I'm in a tournament.
Let's see here,
I
Tobe.
told the kids we were gonna win.
There we
and
go.
They just laughed at me. How about a favorite movie?
Favorite movie.
It's a tough one, so if it doesn't come to you, that's fine.
It is because I don't know. It might be a little corny, but like I do like the new F1 movie with Brad Pitt.
Oh, okay.
Like,
There you go.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's like the storyline more so than the racing, and the facade about the racing was actually kind of cool.
Okay.
Because he actually at the end of the movie he stops and they want him to run Formula One after he wins a race like the following year, and he says I'm done, and because he hadn't hit everything on his bucket list yet, and he went to Baja to find a ride. That's how the movie ends, and I'm like, oh, that's my guy.
Right there,
that
absolutely.
sounds like somebody else we know.
Do you prefer snow or rain?
Well, it depends if I was slated to race that day in a sprint car, I prefer snow. If I'm slated to race that day in a road course car, I prefer rain, because
There you go.
that's the great equalizer.
Yep.
Yeah, you'll run in the rain in them.
Yeah.
So, if you were going to be stranded on an island, what type of music would you have to have along to listen to?
Probably on an island, reggae.
Yeah.
Okay, yep. The old island music.
Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
Ooh, Bergen Steakhouse.
Yeah, we've heard
Yeah.
a lot about that, and we ain't made it up there yet.
Yeah, we got to get
The
there.
guys
I'm a
from Hawk
20
Wing.
ounce. Me and Doug and Jude, his wife, I usually kill a 20-ounce ribeye like once a week up there.
A 20. You eat it yourself?
Yes, sir.
Good Lord, and you can still run. You don't run right after it, I bet.
Oh, I run the next morning.
Yeah. Yeah. The boys from Hawk Wings
I run
have been
past the
wanting us to come
corn,
up.
but not the cows.
So yeah, we got to get there yet. That's on our bucket list of places to go eat. How about a favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Can't go wrong with that one.
How many
Nope.
speeding tickets do you have?
More than I would love to admit on a podcast, but I haven't had one recently, which is good because I didn't really realize I just was paying my bills until I, got closer to like 30. And I was like, man, what am I paying for insurance? And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, well, maybe you should slow down. Like this it'd be cheaper to slow down. So
You got that right.
And probably might even get a little better gas mileage.
This next one might be good.
Yep, I'm looking forward to this one. So, in regards to speeding tickets, what's the fastest you've ever driven or ridden with somebody going down the highway? Now, mind
It
you, we've
wasn't
had
a
3
ticket,
of them
though.
over 200.
it wasn't a ticket, but
No.
I did 205 in a McLaren in Nevada when I was about 18 years old.
205. That's our fourth one.
That's our 4th 200 one
That's insane.
Yeah.
in somebody's McLaren.
And I look back at it now because, man, in a street car compared to a race car, you were so much more at risk.
Well,
Like,
a McLaren, ain't that like a third or a half race car damn near?
I don't know. After you drive a sprint car, nothing's a race car.
Well,
There you
that's
go.
true. But I mean, as far as that type of car, I mean, with the aerodynamics and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. After I got comfy in the 410, and everyone was like, I needed a car, a newer car, and my wife asked me at the time. She's like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I think I want a Jetta." And she's like, "What? You want a Volkswagen?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's really good on gas mileage." And she's like, "But you race cars," and I was like, "Nothing really excites me in a street car at all."
Yeah.
What's cheap and affordable? And at the time I was owning a sprint car team, so I was like, if I spend less money on gas, then I have more money for tires.
There you go. And they don't give them away.
No.
What's your favorite drink? Alcohol, non-alcohol? Doesn't matter.
Ooh. Alcohol, I'm a tequila old-fashioned guy.
Okay.
A tequila old fashioned. Okay, explain to me what's in the old fashioned then.
It's just basically an old-fashioned. Instead of with whiskey, you put tequila in it.
Okay. Just
And
checking.
then if it's just, I drink pretty much water all the time, but me and Doug like our half and half Arnold Palmers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we drink a little water, don't we, bud?
Yep, it's in Diet Coke and it's in Pepsi.
But I do have a water glass right here.
Attaboy.
So I'm trying to do something. So, all right, so here's the last one, then we'll let you get back to whatever it is you need to do yet tonight. If you just won the lottery and you had more money than you knew what to do with, is there a car, a pickup, a boat, a motorhome, or whatever? Is there something you've always just wanted to waste money on but didn't have it?
Well, it wouldn't be wasting money, but I'd probably just buy a World of Outlaw style outfit with, a bunch of Grespin motors and a big old Peterbilt truck and trailer, and I probably wouldn't live in a house that's more than 150 grand and just go race.
There you go.
That don't sound like a bad idea, to be honest with you.
Oh.
We'd just be into like following the races.
Yeah.
We're too damn old and too chicken to get in a car.
That's right.
I might would upgrade my fifth wheel and actually just live in the fifth wheel next to the Peterbilt in the nice truck and trailer where if we probably have to rearrange some parking at Doug's for it. So
Yeah, well,
matter of fact, probably next on my list tonight, since you guys asked that, and that seems like hopes and dreams for both me and Doug DeWall and the DeWall family, I'm going to go ahead and play the lottery tonight.
All right.
attaboy.
Hey, if you win, just remember Hoagie's Garage a little
Hoagie's
bit.
Garage always
Just a
needs a
little bit.
sponsorship. We need a
Well,
new
I
sponsor.
would be DeWall Racing will then have the funds to be a sponsor of the show.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go. I'm sure Doug wouldn't care either.
So I do have to ask, do you ever get to talk with Jason DeWalt?
Jason's the one who put this entire deal together.
Oh my gosh. Jason,
Yeah.
we've done a lot of things with Jason. He was West River Ed giving some predictions.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Oh man, Jason is a hoot. We absolutely love Jason.
Yeah, me and Jason talk probably 2 or 3 times a week, and obviously I see him when he comes to the track. But no, this whole deal was Jason's doing, really. Like he stayed talking to me after I sold him the cars, and we stayed in touch. And he's just a super great guy. And he's like, man, we gotta like I think this is a good fit. Like I gotta talk Doug into it. And yeah, he somehow did.
Yep. Well,
we better pull this back a little bit. We don't want Jason's head to get big that he thinks he's this nice of a guy.
he still owes me a
Ja-
hot dog.
Yeah, I mean, Jason was at certain points was trying to gamble pretty decently to make our deal better for this year to win Doug over some more because the winnings were going to go to us racing. So, like he's definitely ballsy and will take the risk.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he definitely is. So, well, Sean, thanks so much for coming on.
This was a
We're
blast.
excited that we're going to get to see you more up here. That's absolutely awesome. And best of luck with all your road course stuff, man.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the Midwest hospitality.
All right. You take care.
Later, guys.
All right,
Later. That was a lot of fun.
That was awesome.
I didn't know he was into all that.
Holy cow.
Not that we'll remember it, but we learned.